is going on, guys? It's Yoji. Welcome to another video. I'm streaming this live, so you can see Twitch chat right on the screen if you're watching this on YouTube right now. I will go very shortly over the new 11 support gems that have been confirmed to be added to the beta soon TM. So let's look over those. First of all, we got Vile Toxin support. Not to be confused with not so Vile Toxin support. Supporter skills deal 20% increased damage with poison. That's probably from 20% quality. Supporter skills deal 5% more damage with hits for each poison on the enemy. So the hits do more damage, not the poison itself. And stacks up to 6 times, so up to 30% more multiplier in deeps. For the hit, not for the dot. And the hit does not scale the dot anymore because double dipping is removed. And supporter skills 30% more poison damage. So this only works with poison. And only if you want to focus on the poison, and it will mainly give you a single target, not that much AoE, because in AoE mob you will only hit, like white mobs in the AoE you will only hit once, slash them all over, and then they will all die. And for a single target you actually get to stack up. Yes, kind of alright, kind of interesting, kind of not too spectacular. That's pretty interesting. Decay support, forgot about that, it wasn't here. Supporter skills deal 10% increased chaos damage. Okay, that's probably quality. Supporter skills inflict decay while dealing 234 chaos damage per second for 10 seconds. That's like decay weapons. So I would say that's probably kind of like decay. You could add that to Caustic Arrow or Essence Drain. That'd be cool. But it scales with levels, right? Because this is level 1 now. So it's basically like added chaos, but as a dot. It seems pretty damn good, I would say. Like just initially, if this like gains good damage, of course we need like the level 20 numbers. But this seems pretty damn strong. Just like first sight. Does it inflict decay only on hits? I would say so. Because normally to inflict something you will need hits. I don't think it would inflict it on dot. That would be weird. Like RF, I don't think it would work with RF. Scales up to 1,598, and so forth says. So that seems like a solid number. Need to hit. CA got low accuracy. Not necessarily. If you have like lots of decks, you're kind of alright on like on accuracy. Alright, next up, Deadly Ailment support. Supported skills 50% more damage with ailments. Ailments are Ignite, Shock, Freeze and Chill, Poison and Bleed. So Ignite, Bleed, Poison are the damaging ailments, right? Ah, 50% more damage with those. It's a lot of more multiplier. Supporter skills deal 30% less damage with hits. Alright, that's kind of cool. Something they can do now because of no double dipping. That's pretty good. And increased damage over time from its quality. It's up to 88% at level 20. Shit! That's crazy. That's crazy. Combine that with the Perfect Agony keystone from the passive tree. Like your hits don't do anything, but your ignites and whatever. Like what? That seems pretty. That seems like a lot, like a huge more multiplier. Interesting though. I think that's kind of interesting because you kind of sacrifice a lot of hit damage. You take this and Perfect Agony, you do 45% less damage with hits, basically shoving all your damage into the damage over time. Lesser poison support. We already have poison support. 25% chance to poison on hit. 1 to 2 added chaos. It's like a hybrid gem of added chaos and poison, but like worse than both individually. So kind of like a leveling gem, requires level 8. Yeah, it seems like a leveling support. That at some point you will have poisoned by another source, like being a Pathfinder, Snake Bite, something like this. At that point you will not need this gem anymore and you can switch over to something like this. That's kind of alright. I like the idea of being able to level with poison. Seems cool. Chance to bleed support. Oh, that's cool. What, like a 25% chance to cause bleeding. That's not a lot. Hope that goes up. Hope that goes up. Otherwise, you would need something like Void Heart, as mentioned, chat, although in a different context, or lots of bleeding on the tree, or some Be a Gladiator, something like this. Use damage with bleeding and added fizz. This requires also level 8. Could be also be, it's basically the same as this one, so it's kind of like also a leveling support until you have other sources of bleeding, I guess. I would say it's like basically the bleeding version of this one. It has the same mana multiplier. 25% might be enough. It's kind of nice. Maybe 50 would be nicer. I don't know. Seems good though. Seems alright. Bleeding doesn't stack, so you only need to get a bleed inflicted once and then you're good. Might be enough. I don't know. Next one. Ignite Proliferation support. Ignites caused by supported skills spread to other enemies. So it's like Ellie Prolif, but just ignites. Wait, it doesn't have the less multiplier. What's the current radius of Ellie Prolif? Is it higher or is it the same? 14. How much is 14? I don't even have a PoE wiki. Let's check the PoE wiki real quick. Rip chat. Elemental Proliferation support. Currently has supported skills area of effect 16. It's worse. It is worse. Or does it scale with levels and starts? The Ellie Pro scales to 16. That's wrong, Yoji. But PoE wiki said so. But Yotsu! PoE wiki said so. Maybe it's with levels. Maybe with levels. I don't have accurate information on this. But if the radius is comparable or better, that would be nice. It does not have the less multiplier. So that's really good. Oh, elementary. Ellie Pro support rip chat again. On PoEDB, let's check that. Of ailments. Up level. Duration, mana, bias intelligence. Where does it say? Radius of 10. So it's better. It's 4 extra radius. That's good. That's good. That's good. His 10 on Prolif and does not scale with levels. Thank you very much. That's why I have a chat, by the way, so I don't have to know this stuff. Alright, efficacy support, as I learned yesterday on stream how to pronounce this. More spell damage, more damage over time, increased damage over time likely from quality, and increased duration. This is an awesome as hell support gem for Scorching Ray, because spell damage, damage over time, and duration all are insanely good for it. It's also probably not that horrible for Essence Drain. Spell damage, damage over time, duration. So does good as well. But yesterday, I was planning on stream a Scorching Ray, cast when channeling, Whispering Eyes character, and I was wondering what my last support gem would be. So I was like, there's not really a support gem that scales both Scorching Ray well and Whispering Eyes well. But this gives me more spell damage for both skills. Increased duration actually works on both, and the increased damage over time. That's pretty cool. I'm super hyped for this. This build might actually be my first build in next league. That doesn't have a name yet. 3.0. Power of Oriath. Cast when channeling Whispering Eyes action. Mwah. So yeah. Could also be next, yeah, as I see in chat now, could also be an extra support for Righteous Fire, which is kind of lacking supports. Alright. Unbound Ailment support. Supported skills have 40% increased duration of ailments on enemies. That's a lot. And increased effect of ailments. So stuff like effect means 20% increased ignite damage, 20% increased shock effect. So the shock more multiplier, or like increased damage taken, is 20% increased. So I don't know how much. Some 10. So it's like 10% extra. I think it's 50% now. Then it's yeah, that's okay. For Yoji can't afford Whispering Ice stuff just like last league. I'll just not make a video about it. I mean, Whispering Ice, you can always farm the cards. It always works. Alright, so I would say this is kind of like niche. Because it's not a damage support, so people will always be like, about it. One of those utility supports that probably won't get used much, to be honest. I mean, it gives you damage on the Ignite, I guess. Yeah, 50% becomes 60. Control Destruction does not support Righteous Fire. What's this? Also, Rapid Decay does not support Righteous Fire because it's not a duration. Yeah, Permafreeze, shenanigans, I don't know. Immolate support. Supported skills deal 10% increased fire damage, likely from quality. Supported skills deal 47 to 71 added fire damage against burning enemies. Flat added fire damage against burning enemies. That's good for stuff like Righteous Fire plus Firestorm or something like this would benefit from this on the Firestorm. Scorching Ray does burn, right? Scorching Ray does burn, so if I use it on my cast when damage, cast when channeling thing, it would, like, Scorching Ray would burn the enemy and then the Whispering Ice would fall down and that would work. I could also use, I just thought about it, I could use Hypothermia. It's like more damage against chilled enemies and Whispering Ice chills all of them. Why didn't I think of that last time? I'm so dumb sometimes. Brutality support. Hypothermia does not work for Scorching Ray though. Why? It's more damage, or is it more cold damage? It almost doubles your Whispering Ice damage. What, that almost doubles it? This? Holy shit. Holy shit then. Oh, Hypo does not scale dots. Alright, I didn't actually know that. Brutality support. So one skill say 35% more physical damage, no elemental damage, physical damage. This is basically Ellie focus, it's basically physical focus. Brutality support. That's kind of cool. At least you have to like think around it a bit. Can make a Starforge build with this without downsides. Because it has the same downside, that's true. As Mr. Tryhard Anel put it in chat. Yep, that's pretty much it. Kinda cool. Maim support. Ooh, is it a dank maim support though? Supported skills deal 10% more physical damage. Alright. Supported attacks have 30% chance to maim on hit. Alright. The 10% increased fizz is probably from quality, and then enemies mained by supported skills take 20% increased physical damage. That's actually good. That's actually a dank meme. Maim. So maim on hit has a chance to slow stuff. If you have some other chance like to maim, enemies maimed by supported skills take 20% increased physical damage. That's a 20% more multiplier basically. Because take damage applies after everything else is applied. Then you have another 30% more multiplier. No, another 10% more multiplier. It's like 10 and then another 20. That's actually an interesting support gem. I'm kind of excited. This has me jazzed. I think this is pretty cool. You can make all sorts of shenanigans with like multi-strike or whatever with it. Yeah, applies within the first 3 hits usually, so multi-strike stuff would be really nice with this. Also, if you are, for example, let's say an assassin, I think gets maimed on crit. That's pretty damn good. Or if they're shocked, though, the shock will be additive with this debuff. Oh, that's true. If they're like shocked as well, or you have any other damage taken stuff like occultists, cursed enemies take damage, then yeah, it's additive. Cyan Assassin has always maim enemies on full life too. Oh, interesting. But this also works in a party, right? So if I am in a party and I maim an enemy with this, my party members will also do 20% increased or like more physical damage or like more damage. Oh, they only take increased physical damage. That's interesting though. So you have to be careful for synergy. But if you're like brutalizing anyways, that's pretty nice. Okay, I'm overall I would say some really interesting stuff in there. Some really nice stuff for damage over time. Some interesting stuff for damage over time focus builds that do not use hits as much. Interesting fizz support. Some wonky stuff that I don't know if we will see views yet. Ignite Prolif I find a bit weird, but we'll see. Lots of poison. Overall, I think pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. I'm excited for this. I'm jazzed. Alright, if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. Until then, I'm Yoji, and I will see you guys soon.